Okay, there we go. All right, go right ahead, Renee.
All right, I call the meeting to order. Approval of the agenda.
So we have to do a roll call attendance. Yep, so everyone will just go through and state their name and then state if they are a member of the committee or if they're a provider, what provider they represent.
Okay.
Dave
I'm
Paul.
at the top of the picture. I'll say I'm Doug Cochran. I'm a member of the committee.
Dave Paul, member of the committee.
Teresa Boussellier, member of the committee.
Renee Hall, acting chair. Eva.
I'm Eva Wilson. I'm a member of the committee.
Maynard Ritchie, human rights advocate.
Brandon Rotenberry, Office of Human Rights.
Okay, Artia Ambrose with the Office of Human Rights. Gail and Glenda, that's you.
Yeah, this is Glenda Sheffer with Western State Hospital. Gail is working on something on her computer now, but Gail Burford with Western State is here also.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Glenda. All right, so now we move forward with approval of the agenda if there's any additions that need to be made.
Do we need to add the public comment from a few patients, or is that just generic public comment?
That's under bullet point 5, under public comments.
I move.
We want a motion to approve? Do we have to approve this?
Yep, motion to approve.
Motion, anybody want a motion?
A motion
move.
to approve.
So Teresa firsts and Doug seconds. All approve? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right. The motion to approve the agenda. So we want to review the approval of January 2021's minutes. Anybody have any input on that?
Looks fine to me.
Motion to approve.
All right, Teresa motions. Anyone second?
Second.
Doug seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, the minutes have been approved. So the floor is now open for public comment. Are those individuals available now? Was that Glenda or Gail?
This is Gail. We let the folks know who were going to line this up about this about a week ago, and then neither one of us remembered to remind them this morning. So I have sent a text message to make sure that they remembered to do this, but just so we don't hold the group up, can we move forward with the agenda, and then as soon as I can get these arrangements made, we'll pop in. Is that okay?
Is that okay, Artia? We come back to public comment.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. Chairperson announcements. I don't have any. Does anybody else have anything? Advocate report. It's all you, Richie.
So I'll actually take that.
Okay, sorry. Ann.
So that's okay. So just a couple of announcements. Maynard Ritchie and Brandon Rotenberry will resume administrative duties for this LHRC. So in moving forward, please submit any business items to Ritchie and to Brandon. Ritchie's email is maynard.ritchie@dbhds.virginia.gov, and that'll be in the minutes for anyone who wants that. Also, OHR return to field operations transition plan began on April 1st. So our staff will resume on site AIM 24 visits, independent and joint investigations, new provider and waiver validation, and facility look behind on-site visits. So as many of you are aware, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the governor placed us on a state of emergency. And so a lot of us were placed on a work from home order, essentially. So we're excited to be back out into the field and back into our providers and working with individuals face to face. So that's it. That's all I've got. Richie, anything to add? Brandon?
No, I don't have anything to add, but thank you.
Yep.
Awesome.
Okay.
Do we have any old business to get to?
We do not.
No old business. So new business, we want provider requests.
This is, may I ask a follow-up question? This is Gail.
Sure.
So when we do these treatment plan reviews and restriction reviews and such, we'll forward those to Richie and Brandon now instead of you, correct?
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I know that we had provider requests and the LHRC reviews listed in point A there. Since we're still waiting for those individuals for public comment, would you all like to just move forward with election of officers? We'll start there.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Would anyone like to volunteer as chairperson or a vice chair?
I'll go ahead and volunteer since I'm doing it. You roped me into it.
And it is
All right.
appreciated.
Can I nominate Teresa as vice chair?
You certainly can. Yep.
I'd be happy to vice chair.
Okay, great. So we would need someone to make a motion to nominate Renee to serve as the chair of the committee, and then a second.
I nominate.
Okay, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. It's official.
Okay. And thank you for your patience as I'm typing out these minutes. All right, and then we need a motion to nominate Teresa and a second.
I'll motion. I'll nominate her.
I'll second.
Okay.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any
Okay, and
opposed?
that second, that was by, was that David?
Yes.
Yeah, either
Okay.
one of us is fine.
Okay. Okay, and I'm sorry, you said any opposed?
Any opposed? And there were none.
Okay. Okay. All right, thank you for that. Gail, Glenda, any update on public comment before we go into closed session?
No, I've sent an email and a text message. I haven't heard back yet. I'm sorry.
Okay, nope, that's okay. And then do we have the individuals present to go into closed session for discussion of the behavioral plans?
They haven't logged on yet. We gave them, what time did we give them, Glenda? We gave them a time for 11 o'clock, but we'll see if we can get in touch with them and tell them we're ready now.
Okay.
So give us a few minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Play some elevator music.
Anybody have some they want to play?
I'm good. You don't want to hear my music.
I have a dulcimer back there, but I haven't played it in 12 years, so no time for it. It's
I
now
don't know, that might be fun, Doug.
Oh, yeah. Yes, got roped into it many years ago. It's actually a lovely instrument. It's very beautiful. It's just more difficult to play for someone who does not have the discipline to apply yourself to lessons. It's been
Yeah.
sitting over there in the corner.
Hey, Artia, while we're waiting, can I ask a question? I noticed on the agenda that it says that the next meeting is at CCCA. Do you think that we'll actually be able to be at CCCA, or do you think we'll still be virtual at that point?
That's a great question. So Richie will check with CCCA to make sure that we can still use their meeting space. It really depends on the type of restrictions they have. No matter what, even if we do meet in person, there will be a virtual option. We will continue to use Zoom for healthcare for those that still aren't comfortable attending in-person meetings. So even if it is in person, Zoom for healthcare will be an option.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'll add to that, that sometimes the in-person at first, some places may not allow us to do anything except for the committee. So we have some LHRCs where the CSBs have said, you can bring your committee, but you cannot bring anyone else from the public or providers. So it could be that we have part of our committee in person and part on Zoom, but the providers and individuals or people from the public may not be present physically. So I think that there are just going to be some options in moving forward and a lot of flexibility, and that's what we've learned and like, right? So just adding on to that.
Yeah, thank you, Cassie.
Yeah, I noticed a couple of state boards down in Richmond and other departments were having meetings outside as well. Interesting. People are finding all kinds of ways to accommodate.
Well, NAMI hasn't moved back into in-person meetings yet either. So we're looking to do that in the future, but we haven't done it.
People are being so creative, and just due to the nature of the meetings that you guys have and the confidentiality, I don't believe that outside meetings are going to be an option for us, just due to the fact that someone could be behind a tree and we wouldn't know it. Mm-hmm. So, you know, when you're in a closed session, so we'll hold on anything like that. But people are being so creative, and kudos to them.
Well, it's made some permanent changes. I know my professional association has now moved to a more permanent digital gatherings. They still intend to have a physical gathering once or twice a year, but people who are busy and everything else, it gets down to it, they get the same input from digital and a lot less time and no transportation involved, no time away from the office and all that sort of thing. It's made a permanent change for a lot of groups.
I was speaking to several people that work for the government in the course of my job, the U.S. government, and a lot of them said that their departments and these are big departments like defense and others are looking into, you know, just keeping people home if they want to, because they're finding it's saving a lot of money. And the morale's gone up for people that don't have to commute into DC for hours, I think. So this may be a part of our future forever, I think. And certainly with coronavirus, it's gonna, you know, wind up being a booster thing eventually anyway. So you never know.
Gail and Glenda, any update on if individuals are able to join us? Oh, I just saw a chat actually.
Do we need to keep the, I'm sorry, RT, do we need to keep the agenda up? Because what it does is it blocks the ability to see, but just the screen, the whole screen. Unless everybody needs it, if they do, that's fine.
I got mine printed.
Yeah, mine too.
Right here.
Okay, you want us to stop sharing the agenda? That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, well, then we can see everybody and not just, you know, especially when we're talking with these, you know, closed session, it'd probably be better if we can not have it, you know, I don't know. It's up to everybody. If they want to keep it up, that's fine.
Yep, sure. Okay, go ahead and Richie, if you want to just stop sharing your screen. Yep, there you go. So, you know, this whole time we've been recording, it might be, I'd really like to get these individuals in if we can. Renee, if you want to take a break while we're waiting for the other individuals, we can motion for a break, and then I can stop the recording. And then we can wait while those other individuals come in, and then we can restart the meeting when they do.
All right. On motion, we take a break for about 10 minutes and check in. Yeah. Anyone want a second?
A second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. We'll
All right.
go
Any
on.
opposed?
Any opposed? No.
Okay. Hearing none. All right.
Anybody motion to come back into
moved.
session?
So moved.
All right. Anybody second?
Second.
All right.
All
All in
right.
favor? All right. Any opposed?
No.
Let's go.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Hi, Lane. If you could tell us your role today.
Hi, I'm Lane Baggett. I'm the psychologist on Dogwood Unit at
Okay.
Western State.
Okay.
And I am here with regard to.
Well, don't say a name because we're not in closed session yet. So.
Okay.
Okay. So to review a plan.
To review a plan. Yes.
Okay. All right. I see Gail commenting here for Western State number 3, and then I have a Victoria coming in and a Herb coming in. All right. Gail, are they here for Western State number 3 also?
No, hold on.
Okay.
Number 4. They'll be here for number 4.
Okay. All right. But they're all with Western State, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Great.
Good morning.
There we go. All right, so now that we have some of our committee members here, let's go ahead and move forward with our business. All right.
Does Maynard need to be in on this? Looked like he checked in and didn't.
No, that's okay. We can move forward. All right, so we'll need to go into closed session. Renee, if you would like, I can read that statement for you on your behalf, unless you have it.
No, I don't have it in front of me, so thank you for reading it.
Okay. All right, to move into closed session, a member of the LHRC should make the following motion. I move that the LHRC goes into executive session pursuant to the Code of Virginia 2.2-3711A15 for the protection of the privacy of individuals in their records and personal matters not related to public business. Need a motion and a second.
I'll motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, in just one moment.
All right, I motion that we come back into open session. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, so upon reconvening into open session, the local Human Rights Committee certifies that only public business matters lawfully exempted from statutory open meeting requirements and only public business matters identified in the motion to convene the closed session were discussed in closed session. And we need each member to state their name and then state I so certify.
Renee Hall, I so certify.
Teresa Billier, I so certify.
David Polk, I so certify.
Eva Wilson, I so certify.
Okay, great. So I'm going to admit Riley. She's coming in with an individual, I believe, for public comment. And before we get to that public comment, we will go ahead and we will need a motion to approve the following as discussed during closed session. So based on the discussion of the need for the restrictive plan, it was recommended to approve continuation of the behavioral plan for WSH1 for the restrictive plan for WSH1 with no recommendations there. Based on the discussion of the need for a restrictive plan, it was recommended to approve the continuation of the behavioral plan for WSH number 2. With no recommendations. Based on the discussion of the need for the restrictive plan, it's recommended to approve the continuation of the restrictive plan for WSH3. The recommendation for the advocate to follow up with the provider regarding the provider failing to notify the advocate prior to implementing the mail restrictions in accordance with 12 Act 35-115-50C6C. Based on the discussion of the need for the restrictive plan, it was recommended to approve the continuation of the behavioral plan for WSH4. And based on the discussion of the need for the restrictive plan, it is recommended to approve the continuation of the restriction plan for WSH number 4. The recommendation is for the advocate to follow up with the provider to ensure that the phone restriction is not punitive in nature.
Anybody want a motion?
I
Dave?
move.
Anybody's
No second.
free? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion is approved. Thank you,
Okay.
Artia.
And I'm sorry, real quick, who was my second?
Both Doug and Teresa did it at the same time, so you pick.
Okay,
Okay.
pick one.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you. Okay, so now we will jump up because we skipped it before to public comment. So Riley, I believe that you're with an individual who would like to make public comment.
We're here.
Okay. Hi, if you don't mind just
Hi.
stating your name and what would you like to share today?
Charles Thomas Sullenberger III. And I guess I'm talking about the incident where your electronic toilets, they flush all of a sudden without, you can just barely move on while you're sitting on there and it will flush on you. And I was getting dry skin from the soap. So some water from the toilet went up, and it was it's almost like a duvet sometimes. If you sit on those things and if the water will just rush on you, and I ended up getting a staph infection, and I actually could have died. I had it on me for several weeks before I even said anything about it. I didn't know what to think, and I got it tested, and it's staph.
Okay.
And that's from the automatic toilet?
Yeah, the electric one.
Okay. And have you made a complaint with Western State Hospital?
Absolutely. Here, Riley, she can vouch for me here if you need to.
Okay.
We spoke about a resolution, but he did not
Riley,
accept the
I'm sorry, we
resolution.
can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. We discussed a resolution of, addressing it with primary care, that the adjustment to flushing the toilets is kind of a challenge. And so that's when Charles asked to take it to the LHRC public comment.
Okay.
Yeah. I had to actually, the whole time I've been here, I've actually had to jerry rig your toilets so I don't, get more infections.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for letting us know. Yes, Cassie.
I'm sorry. If we're going to have any further on this, I'd like to go into closed session for the protection of the individual. If not, if we could have Richie follow up with him.
That was going to be my recommendation. Yep.
Okay.
Richie, if you could follow up with Mr. Sullivan.
Sullenberger.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
You're fine.
I already wrote it down on my tablet.
Okay. Mr. Maynard, Richie will follow up with you, sir. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. I will be getting out of here in a few days. So just call me on my phone. Should have it on there. If you want it, I can give it to you now.
No, that's okay. Mr. Richie will get it from you. Yep.
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for
your
coming.
comment.
Bye now.
Thank you. I do have one more individual.
Thanks, Mr.
Tia, if we're having another individual, we need to go into closed session. I know that it's not part of the agenda, but for the protection of these
Individuals have been
individuals.
made aware of public comment time. Richie has had that discussion with them, Cassie.
And I understand that, but we can't have this discussion in public forum. So we can still have the discussion, but we need to go into closed session, please.
Okay.
Should I go get the other individual?
Yes, go ahead and wait for us to get into closed session and then we'll bring in the other individual. Okay. All right. Well, this is an interesting time. So, Renee, would you like me to go ahead and read the closed session statement once again?
Absolutely. You should know it by heart by now.
Okay. I wish.
We should all know it, huh?
I move that the LHRC goes into executive session pursuant to the Code of Virginia 2.2-3711A15 for the protection of the privacy of individuals and their records and personal matters not related to public business.
I motion. Anybody second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, thank you.
Okay. All right. If you hold one moment and I'll pause the recording again. There we go. So the next meeting is July 7th at 1355 Richmond Avenue. And we now need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Anybody second?
Second.
All in favor?
Artia, I'm sorry.
Aye.
Okay. And meeting to adjourn. Was that Gail that I heard?
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am. So the meeting is going to be in person at CCCA?
For now, that's how we have it scheduled. But like I said, we will have an electronic meeting available.
Okay, because if we have any treatment team reviews, plan reviews, they will likely need to be via Zoom.
Yep, that's fine. It'll be
Okay.
available.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
See ya.
All right. Thank you all so much. I appreciate your patience and your time.
Thank you.
Tia.